going to do is cut a panel of white cardstock that is 6 inches wide by 12 inches long. And you're going to score it from the left at 3 and at 6. And then this folds to make your basic easel shape. The front you're going to cover with 2 panels of the designer patterned paper that are 6 inches across by just under 3 inches high. And the reason you want to go just under 3 is that you have to leave room for that fold. So don't go over the fold. On the inside, you're going to cut the August calendar, and I cut from the bottom, and I cut just below 3, and then that leaves this little piece, and you glue those in, again, being mindful of the fold. And on the bottom, a 6 by 6 pattern of this pretty turquoise micro dot from the sentiments page. So now we're going to build our hidden pocket. And to do that, you need a 6 1/4 by 6 3/4 inch piece of the aqua paper. And you're going to score this. You can see I left my branding strip on the left because that saves paper. You're going to score it 1/2 inch on the side and on the top and on the bottom. You're not doing anything on the right. So then you're just going to bring in your adhesive, and you're going to put a little bit of your adhesive in the corners and flip your pocket down. See, no one's going to see that branding strip. And then you're just going to put your adhesive on the 1/2 inch flaps that you scored. And you're going to add this hidden pocket to your panel so that the opening is on the right. So your folded piece is on the left, your opening is on the right. Once that is down, you want to cut another piece of paper that is 5 1/2 inches by 7 1/2 inches, and you're going to score it at 5 1/2. This is going to make our pocket. Then take 2 1-inch panels just from your scraps, cut them so that they're just under 2 inches high, fold them in half, and glue these on the back side of the pocket. These are what I call gussets, and they leave room so you can add more stuff to the pocket. So once you've done that, you just put your adhesive on the sides, fold it up. Oops. There we go. And burnish. And then this is going to go right on top of that. So what goes in here? Well, from the image page, cut out your ledger, set this aside, put in these cute kids that are getting ready to run down to the beach. You're going to make your little wallet-sized folios. So this measures 12 inches long, and it's usually about 3 3/8 inches high. Let's see. 3 3/8 inches high. What I do is I mat the silhouette on a slightly larger piece of the pattern of the plain cardstock, and then I cut above and below. I lay this on my scoring tool and I score, but the score line, for those of you who love to measure, is 4 3/8. So 3 3/8 by 4 3/8, and you're going to score, then you're going to score at 4 3/8 again, and that's going to give you this little flap. So I put this image inside of the mom and the daughter sunbathing, so cute. And then this little ticket that says Surf's Up, and then I turned the seashells ticket into a pocket by just gluing on 3 sides, and I tucked a bunch of fun little ephemera bits in there. So that goes into the pocket. And this one is the same thing. This is the fishing one for the guys. And in the center, I'm going to glue this coral down. as a photo mat. This is the back side of that image of the mom and daughter sunbathing. And that just breaks up some of this pattern so the eye can kind of see everything. And then home is where the anchor drops. Just put a little bit of glue on the side and glue that over here, and you can still tuck a photo in there. You won't glue it to the page, but you just kind of tuck a little photo or a little memento in there. So here's how you build that pocket, just so you know. We'll take, I think I lost something, but that's all right. We'll make this work. Salt in the air, sand in my hair. We're just gonna glue 3 sides and put that down. There's a pocket, the easiest style of pocket to make. And then you just tuck your ephemera. Oops, wait for it to dry. Tuck your ephemera in there. And I put some little postage stamps in this one and the little sailboat. And you can journal on the back of these. You can put itty bitty photos on the back of these. It's just a cute feature. So this also tucks into the pocket. So that takes care of that. Now, our hidden pocket, this is the insert for that. And for that, you're going to need, let me get all of this stuff out of here. You're going to need an 11 by 5.5 inch piece of the plain cardstock and score it in half at 5.5. Line the right-hand side with a 5.25 inch piece of the polka dot. Then use a shaped die. This is a Spellbinders Labels 18 die to die cut these pull tabs. And you want to put these down before you put your patterned paper on the front, because otherwise you'll have the seam. The seam will show. So do the outside. Then just line the edges up. Nice and neat. Okay. And then on the inside, I've prepared a little pocket. Oh, this is just cut from the back of the sentiment sheet, and I'm just going to put adhesive on 3 sides, just like I was before, and put this down as a pocket. And that covers up the raw edge of that tab. And then in the pocket, you can put these little sentiment cards that can be used on the back for photos, and you can put this 4x4 in there. So that finishes up the inside. On the cover, you want to cut a 5.25 piece of the diagonal stripe from the sentiment sheet and glue that down. Then I have a 5x5 piece of the beachy pattern. And the reason I'm not using the plaid is that our 4x4 image is rimmed with the plaid, and I didn't want to be redundant. So that goes there. And then I matted this 4x4 on a slightly larger piece of the turquoise paper. And I'm just going to adhere that down. And there's our little folio. So you've got room in here for photos, and a photo on the back, which is pretty cool. And then I prepared somewhere in all my mess. Yes. I went through my button stash and found this cool button. I thought it looked like a sand dollar. So I'm going to adhere this on our pull tab. Isn't that neat? I don't even know where I got this. It could have come from an estate sale. But you can go through your button stash, and I'm sure you'll find something cool that will work. And then this just slides into that hidden pocket, and the button acts as a stopper. So that completes the inside of the card. Now we're going to do the card front. And I want to start fussy cut around the August. And the reason you do that is because if you don't, it completely covers up the plaid. So I did that, and then I just put it on a piece of the coral and loosely fussy cut around it again. I've put foam dimensionals on the back, but only on the bottom edge, and I'll show you why as soon as I peel the liner tape off. Which is easier said than done. Some brands just peel better than others. This one doesn't peel very well. Okay, so I want to take this up right about here and press it down. And what this does is it gives it lift, and now we've got a stopper for our card. I also went through my charms and I found this cute, get that straight, I found this cute little starfish charm, and I'm just gonna tuck this under the water drop looking thing over here on the right. So now on the left I have a bow. This is light coral checkerboard satin ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and that's going to go right here. And then on top of that I've got one of these pretty coral anemones that wants to pop. And I'm just going to adhere that down just like that. And so while the glue is setting, you can fuss your bow a little bit. You can pull the tails, get the tails going the direction you want them to go, and all that good stuff. So while that sets up, I'm going to bring in our focal image for the calendar. And I trimmed this image of the sweet little beach kids down so that I want to say it's 5 inches high. It's a 6-inch image. So I just trimmed top and bottom so that it didn't get out of balance. And then I matted this flip-flops sentiment on a scrap of both the turquoise and the coral. And I put a double layer, I don't know if you can see that, a double layer of dimensionals behind that because I want this to have dimension. So this is going to go right here. And the way I do this, because you don't want to go over the fold, come over about 1/4 of an inch, go out about 3.5 more inches with your adhesive. And you can do score tape, you can do whatever adhesive you like. I use Art Institute Dries Clear adhesive. It's just my favorite. But that doesn't mean I'm right, it just means it's what I like. So glue that down. Get it straight. All right. Now I need something back behind here to fill in the space so that isn't all wobbly. So I'm going to take some foam tape. It's going to take 2 layers. And don't go too close to the top, and you'll see why in a minute. Just stick with me. Trust me on that. I'm going to put one more piece on there. Oops. Well, phooey. Okay, so now you can see how the dimensionals, so maybe that was a good thing. That's gonna, we're gonna be able to cover that up, no problem. I don't want to cover up their shovel, but I want this even with the edge. So there's that. Then you need to find the tags from the cut apart page. And again, I put a dimensional behind this one, and you'll see there's a dimensional here. This works really slick. Do you see how this just tucks right in there and fits as nice as you please? So I'm just going to take some hot glue right there to hold that in place there. A little hot glue right here to hold that in place there. So I'll close this so you can see. See how neat that is? Then I cut the postage stamps with one of those little Fiskars shaped scissors. This is the postage stamp. And I just need to play with the placement of this a little bit. All right, and we're going to need 2 pieces on the back of the one because we have to level it with the piece below it. So I'm going to put my sailboat right here at an angle. And then I'm going to come in with my shell, and it's going to tuck in just like that. All right, now let me put the pin in my glue. We're almost finished. I tied another bow to go up in this corner to balance the composition. And again, I'm going to place this, and then I'm going to move my tails around to make them go the way I want them to go. Just like that. And then I've got this really sweet dolphin. It's a little charm I found at an estate sale. I'm going to wrap it around and under the bow. And I'm just going to tie a knot. Trim that. There we go. And then I've got one more of these beautiful coral flowers to go right here. And on the top of our tags, I created a couple of little bow treatments just to finish it off. And that's it. See, it will stand for display. It will fold for storage. It's just so cute. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining me, Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so other crafters can find it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you along for the journey. And now I'm going to go get my craft on. Bye.